Good morning, everyone. So, welcome to my video lesson regarding atomic models and electron configuration of elements. So, today we will discuss first, or we will review first, what are the different atomic models that we discussed in our grade 8 science lesson. And then, the next one is yung susunod natin yung mga sumunod na atomic models right after ng mga unang models na diniscuss nyo on your grade 8 chemistry lesson. So first, let's start with a review regarding how atoms began or how structure of the atoms evolved. So from the different scientists and philosophers. So at first, we have Democritus who proposed that the materials are made up of tiny particles called atomos. So in English term, that is what we call atoms. So the tiny particle that may be found in any kind of element. Then after that, in the 20th century, so doon na naglabasan yung mga scientists na nagbigay ng kanilang mga studies and contribution regarding the structure of the atom or the model of the atom. So after the Democritus, then is John Dalton, who gave his theory regarding the structure of the atom, whereas na binigay niya yung spherical model of the atom. So he figured out that the atom is just a sphere or a circle na makikita natin in different kinds of elements. Then after nun, we have J.J. Thomson, who discovered what we call electrons or the negatively charged particle of the atom. That is the first subatomic particle na na-discover, and that is J.J. Thomson. Wherein, ang model na binigay naman niya is yung tinatawag nating cookie model or plum pudding model of the atom, in which there are negatively charged particles found inside the atom, which is the electrons, a negatively charged particle. Then after that, we have Ernest Rutherford, who is apparently discovered what we call protons from his experiment. So from his experiment, he discovered protons and suggested that the existence of the what we call nucleus. So let's say, for example, this is the atom. Then inside the atom, we have the center of the atom, which is called the nucleus. And inside the nucleus, we will found protons and then neutrons. Proton is the positively charged particle of the atom, while neutron naman is neutral. And electrons naman ay makikita outside the nucleus. So tinawag naman niya itong nuclear model of the atom. Next one is the relationship between the atomic number and atomic mass with regards to the number of protons, electrons, and then neutrons. So atomic number class is found in the periodic table. So I hope you have a periodic table individually. So the atomic number class is located at the upper left hand of the symbol of the elements, like for example hydrogen, that is 1, oxygen, that is 8, carbon is 6, silver is 47, and the likes. So atomic number class is equivalent to the number of protons and the number of electrons. Therefore, kung ano yung atomic number ng isang element, yun din yung kanyang protons and electrons. So na-discuss na yan sa inyo noong kayo ay grade 8. Okay? Then the number of neutrons naman is equivalent to the mass number. So minus the atomic number. So subtract nyo lang yung mass number and then atomic number, then you have the number of neutrons. So po pwedeng pantay yung dami ng neutrons sa protons and electrons, pwede ring wala, o pwede ring mas marami. So karaniwang mas marami yung number of neutrons dun sa protons and then electrons. So that's how we count. O that's the relationship between atomic number, mass, protons, electrons, and then neutrons. So meron dyang activity na pwede nyo sagutan on your module. So just look at the answer key at the back of your module. So pwede nyo pag-practicean yun. Okay? Next one. So, punta na tayo sa fourth model of the atom. So, the fourth model of the atom is proposed by a scientist named Niels Bohr. So, si Niels Bohr naman ay gumawa ng kanyang sariling experiment and study regarding the structure or the model of the atom. So, ang kanyang model naman or theory states that yung mga electrons daw ay umiikot around the orbits, around the nucleus. So, tinawag niya itong planetary model of the atom, wherein kinumpare niya yung arrangement ng electrons, protons, and neutrons sa solar system. Di ba, ang center ng solar system is the sun. And then around the sun, umiikot yung mga planeta or planets. Then, ganun din daw dito sa atoms. So, the center of the atom is what we call the nucleus, wherein makikita natin doon ang protons and then neutrons. So, andun lang silang dalawa. Then, around the nucleus, ay meron daw mga orbits. Yan, pwede tayo mag-draw niyan. So, yung mga orbits na daw na yan, then daw natin makikita yung mga electrons na umiikot around the nucleus. So, that's why tinawag na planetary model of the atom yung kanyang theory or model of the atom. Wherein ang electrons lang ay makikita outside the nucleus. So, sila lang yung karaniwang gumagalaw dyan. And yung protons and neutrons naman ay makikita lang inside the nucleus. So, malaki nga yung pagkakatulad niya dun sa tinatawag nating solar system. Then, dito rin sa planetary model of the atom, so we have the existence of what we call energy levels, sublevels, and orbitals. Unahin muna natin yung energy levels. The energy levels class ay yung mga orbits na iniikutan ng mga electrons. Ang symbol niya is N. Okay, small letter N. If N is equivalent to 1, meaning the electrons are found in the first energy level. Ang first energy level class ay yung pinakamalapit dun sa nucleus. Ayun. If N is equivalent to 2 naman, the electrons are found on the second energy level. If N is equivalent to 3, so the electrons are found on the third. If N is equivalent to 4, we have the fourth energy level. Up to 5, 6, and then 7 energy level. So hanggang 7 energy levels muna tayo. Applicable hanggang sa pinakamalaking element na meron tayo on the periodic table, which is OG or oganeson, na merong 118 na electrons. Okay? So bawat energy levels na yan ay merong kanya-kanyang dami ng electrons na kayang hawakan. Take note, electrons lang kasi yun lang yung makikita outside the nucleus. Yung kasi yung pinag-aaralan na lang dito. Yung position o kung saan ba makikita ang electrons. Okay, so those are the different energy levels. So we have maximum of 7. Next one is the sublevels. Ang sublevels ay parang sabihin na natin mas finer or mas maliliit na lines na makikita natin sa bawat energy levels. Doon din mas specific na makikita ang mga electrons. At meron tayong 4 different kinds of sublevels. We have symbols S, P, D, and then F. It is also found on your periodic table. S sublevel, P sublevel, D sublevel, and then F sublevel. Ang bawat sublevels ay mayroong kanya-kanyang dami ng electrons na kayang hawakan. Ang S can hold a maximum of 2 electrons. P can hold a maximum of 6 electrons. While D naman can hold a maximum of 10 electrons. And then F can hold a maximum of 14 electrons. So iba-iba din yung dami ng sublevels na makikita sa bawat energy levels. Okay, next. In the first energy level, isang sublevel lang ang makikita, and that is S. So maglagay tayo ng S dyan in the first. Okay? Meaning to say, in the first energy level, dalawang electrons lang ang makikita natin. Pinakamarami na yun. So it can be 1, it can be 2, but not 3 or 4. Okay? In the first yun. Next, on the second energy level, we will found two different sublevels, S and then P. If S can hold a maximum of 2 and P is 6, therefore, in the second energy level, we have a maximum of 8 electrons na makikita. Okay, 8 lang ha, maximum na yun in the second. In the third, we have S, P, and then D. So just add. That is how many? That is a maximum of 18 electrons in the third energy level. 2 plus 6 plus 10. In the fourth and fifth energy level, apat na yung makikita natin na energy levels. S, P, D, and then F. So, therefore, ilan lahat-lahat yung makikita natin na electrons dyan. So, we have 2. This is 8 electrons. This is 18 electrons. And for the fourth and fifth, we have a maximum of 32 electrons. 32 electrons both for fourth and fifth energy level. Okay, so parami ng parami. How about in the sixth energy level? Nabawasan na ng isa. Tatlo na lang ulit. S, P, and then D. Therefore, meron lang siya ulit kayang hawakan na 18 electrons. And last one, on the seventh energy level, we have S and then P na lang. Ibig sabihin, balik sa 8 electrons yung kayang hawakan ni energy level o ni sub-levels. So that is 2, 8, 18, 32, 32, 18, and then 8. So that is a maximum of 118 electrons. So applicable nga hanggang sa pinakamalaking element na meron tayo, which is OG. So bakit kaya kakaunti and then dumami tapos kumonte yung dami ng electrons na kayang hawakan? Di ba? Electrons is negative. Ang protons is positive. So dapat merong attraction dyan sa dalawa na yan. So dapat magdidikit sila, di ba? Pero ang pumipigil sa kanila is yung energy level. Parang ganun nga sa planeta. Bakit hindi tayo lumalapit sa araw o sa ibang mga planeta? Kasi meron tayo kanya-kanyang mga orbits. The same as true with the electrons. Kaya lang, habang lumalayo kasi ang electrons dito sa nucleus, which is positively charged, nawawala na siya ng kapit o attraction. So parang bumibitaw na siya. So parang pala siyang relasyon. So habang lumalayo, ibig sabihin long distance relationship, parang nawawalan kayo ng attraction. Pwede kayo maghiwalay. Halimbawa, boyfriend mo lumayo. So pwede maghanap ng iba yan. So ganun din ang electrons. Habang lumalayo dito yan, so pwede sila makipag-bond sa ibang mga elements. At ang gagamitin nila doon ay yung mga outside or outermost electrons nila. Okay? So that is the number of electrons for each energy levels and then sub-levels. So please take note of the energy levels. We have 7. Sub-levels is, we have 4, S, P, D, F. And then orbitals, mamaya naman ay iisa-isahin natin. Okay? Next. So we're finished about discussing the fourth model of the atom. Punta naman tayo sa pang-5. So the fifth model of the atom is an illustration of Bohr and Sommerfeld model of the atom. Bakit kasama pa rin si Bohr? Kasi nandun pa rin yung ideya ng orbits. Iniba lang yung arrangement. So kung nanonood kayo ng Jimmy Neutron, o ibang mga science movies, o kung sa mga libro nakita nyo ito, yung mga cover nila, so madalas nyo ito makikita. Pero yung tinatawag natin elliptical orbits, wherein meron pa rin tayong nucleus, and then meron na lang existence ng elliptical orbits. I don't know kung bakit ito yung pinakasikat sa lahat, kasi ito yung karaniwang ginagamit niya sa mga TV, sa mga libro, o sa kahit na anong lathalain, magazines for example, although hindi naman ito yung pinakahuli. Sa mga elliptical orbits naman daw, makikita yung mga electrons na umiikot around the nucleus. So that's what we call Bohr-Sommerfeld model of the atom. And for the sixth model of the atom, this is what we call quantum mechanical model of the atom. Yan yung kauna-unahang discussion dyan sa ating module, kung nabasa nyo na. So sa quantum mechanical model of the atom, malaki na yung pagkakaiba mula dun sa una hanggang dun sa panglima. Although, ina-accept pa rin natin yung theories ng mga different scientists regarding dito. So tatlong scientists ang nagtulong-tulong dito para mabuo ang quantum mechanical model of the atom. So the first one, syempre, is si Schrödinger, kung tawagin. Si Erwin Schrödinger. Then si Louis de Broglie. And si Werner Heisenberg. So si Werner Heisenberg class is nagsuggest ng principle na tinatawag natin uncertainty principle. So he suggested that it is impossible to identify both the momentum and then the position of electrons at a certain time. Ibig sabihin, hindi natin masasabing nandito siya, o nandito yung electrons na yun. There is only probability na makikita natin yung isang electron sa lugar na yun. So that's why itong dalawang to ay gumawa ng mathematical expression or analysis regarding sa position ng electrons. So you heard it correct, mathematical expression. Although hindi na natin ibibigay dito yung computation nila kung paano nila na-identify itong quantum mechanical model of the atom. But medyo pasada, meron ditong mga symbols na ginamit nila na gumamit ng mga mathematical terms. So aside from quantum mechanical model of the atom, so tinawag niya rin itong cloud or electron cloud model of the atom. So bakit tinawag na electron cloud? So mag-drawing kayo dito ng bilog, which represents the atom. And then we have the nucleus. And then maglagay kayo dyan ng maraming dots. Maraming dots kahit ilan. So yung dots class represents not the electrons, but the position of the electrons. Ibig sabihin, ito yung probability. Sobrang daming dots niyan. That is thousands or millions of dots. Dapat na meron yan. Kasi nga, hindi natin talaga makikita kung nasaan ang electrons. There is only probability. Sabi nga ni Werner Heisenberg. So yung mga dots na yan, ito yung mga posibleng maging pwesto ng mga electrons habang sila ay umiikot. So kaya tinawag na electron cloud model of the atom. So sa quantum mechanical model of the atom naman, so dito pumapasok yung mga mathematical terms na ginamit nila in suggesting the position of electrons in an atom. Kung magdadagdagan pa natin yung energy levels and sublevels, idadagdag na natin ngayon yung orbitals. Okay? If we have only 4 sublevels, yung bawat sublevels na yun ay nakahati pa into different orbitals. Magsimula tayo sa S sublevel. Ang S sublevel ay meron ng isang orbital. One orbital. And that's what we call S orbital. At ang bawat orbital class ay kayang umawak ng maximum of 2 electrons. Okay? Next, P. Ang P class ay mayroong 3 orbitals. At ang bawat orbitals ay kayang umawak ng 2. So meaning that is a maximum of 6 electrons. Next, meron kanya-kanyang pangalan yung mga yan. We have Px, Py, and then Pz. Px, Py, Pz. So ito na yung sinasabi ko kanina na mathematical terms na ginamit in the quantum mechanical model of the atom. So bawat orbitals niya kaya humawak ng 2 electrons, therefore we have 6. Ang D naman class ay mayroong 5 orbitals. Okay? 5 orbitals. So, bawat orbitals kaya humawak ng 2. So, therefore, we have a maximum of 10 electrons for d orbitals. So, meron din siya kanya-kanyang pangalan. First one, dxy. Next one, dxz. Third, dyz. Next, dx squared minus y squared. And then last one, dz squared. So don't worry, hindi tayo magmamathematics dito. Mga mathematical terms lang yan na ginamit. Naming the different orbitals. So bawat orbitals niya kaya humawak ng 2 electrons. Therefore, we have a maximum of 10 electrons. So gagamitin natin yan in distributing the electrons. For F naman, we have a total of 7 orbitals. So bawat orbitals kaya humawak ng 2. So F can hold a maximum of 14 electrons. So ang mga pangalan nila, pinasimple ko na lang kasi medyo mahirap siyang kabisaduhin o i-memorize. So therefore, gumawa na lang ako ng sarili kong term. We have F1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and then F7. So ito lahat yan. Each can hold a maximum of 2 electrons. So total niya ay 14 electrons. So kanina diniscuss natin kung saan-saan makikita yung mga yan. So kaya tinotal natin kung ilan lahat-lahat yung pwedeng makita in the first, second, up to 7 energy level. Diba? In the first, we have 2. Kasi S lang yung makikita doon. In the second, we have a maximum of 8 electrons. Kasi S and P naman yung makikita doon. And then so on, and then so forth. So we will use this now in distributing the electrons or the what we call electron configuration of elements. So yun yung ating susunod na i-discuss. Alright? After ng atomic models. So you may take a screenshot of this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next. We have what we call ECE or electron configuration of elements. So this is a device used to distribute the number of electrons for each element. Kahit gaano siya karaming electrons mayroon, kaya natin i-distribute yon using the ECE or electron configuration of elements. On your module, so pakitingnan dyan, or even on the periodic table, meron tayong makikita doon na tinatawag nating mnemonic device. So merong certain rule na pinapalo yan. The first rule is yung Pauli exclusion principle. So hindi lang basta nilagay dyan yung mnemonic device. So dito galing yan, okay? Exclusion principle. It states that in distributing the electrons, so electrons must fill up the lowest energy state. Lowest muna, pinakamababa, up to the highest energy state. So para malaman natin lowest to highest, ginawa nga yung mnemonic device. Yung mnemonic device na yun, yung may mga arrows. Yung may 1s, 2s, 3p, then so on. Dodraw ko ngayon dito yun. 1s, yan. So this is now the mnemonic device. Again, pwede nyo rin makita on the module. So mas malinaw doon. Meron na rin mga arrows. Yun na yung pagkakasunod-sunod. Okay? In Pauli exclusion principle class, the lowest energy state starts with 1s. So simula tayo kay 1s. Okay, that's meaning kung magbibilang tayo ng electrons, dapat magsisimula tayo palagi kay 1s, not on 2s. Followed by 2s, then followed by 2p, then followed by 3s, followed by 3d, okay, wait. Sorry, wait. This is okay, correct ko lang. So, mali ako doon. Okay, next, let's continue. So, we have 1s, then followed by 2s, then 2p, then 3s, then we have 3p, then followed by 4s, then 3d, then 4p, then 5s, and then 4d, and 5p, 6s, then we have 4f, 5d, 6d, 7s, 5f, 6d, and then 7p. Well, in 1s, yung pinakamababa, and then 7p naman yung pinakamataas. Yan yung pagkakasunod-sunod. As you notice, meron mga numbers dito na hindi magkakasunod. Like for example, 4s mas nauna kumpara kay 3d. Mathematically, meron kasing number na equivalent yung mga sublevels. Ang sublevels kasi is equivalent to 0, P is 1, D is 2, and then F is 3. Kung i-add natin yung mga numbers na yan, mas mababa si 4s kumpara kay 3d. Example, that is 4 plus 0. So that's equivalent to 4. While yung 3d naman is 3 plus 2. So that's equivalent to 5. So therefore, mas mataas si 3d. Ganon din si 4p. So 5 din yung equivalent niya. Ganon din si 5s. Pero sila yung mga mas mataas kasi mas mataas yung mga energy levels nila. Ganon din dito kay 5s and then 4d. Therefore, mas mataas si 4d. Ganon din si 6s and then 4f. Pero ito na yung kanyang pagkakasunod-sunod. And as a chemistry student, I want you to memorize this. So from 1s up to 7p. Okay, but kulang pa yan, may dadagdag pa tayo dyan. That is the number of electrons for each energy level or each sub-level. Di ba yung S kaya humawak ng dalawa? So lagyan natin dito ng tig to 2 yan. So we will write to a superscript. Yan. So that is read now as 1s2, 2s2, 6s2, 7s2. Si P naman lagyan natin ng 6. So I hope nagte-take down notes kayo during our video lesson. So that is read now as 2p6, and then 3p6, then 4p6 up to 7p6. Si D naman is 10, lagyan natin ng 10. And then si F naman ay 14. So to complete our mnemonic device, so we have 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d10, 4p6, 5s2, 4d10, 5p6, 6s2, 4f14, 5d10, 6p6, 7s2, 5f14, 6d10, and then 7p6. So gamitin natin ito ngayon in distributing the number of electrons of different elements. So using this mnemonic device. Okay? Buray ko na. So this would be our main topic. So distributing electrons of different elements using the mnemonic device. So take note, nasa first rule pa lang tayo, no? Meron pa tayong idadagdag dyan, second and third rule. But on the next video lesson na natin yun, or online class. Okay? ECE, using the mnemonic device. So let's start with oxygen. Oxygen has a symbol of capital letter O. And meron siyang atomic number na 8. So makikita yan on the periodic table. Bakit 8 yung ginamit natin? Di ba ang atomic number is equivalent to number of protons and electrons. So electrons palagi yung i-distribute natin dito. Kaya nga tinawag na electron configuration of elements. Electrons lang palagi ang ating i-distribute. So oxygen now has 8 electrons. So using the mnemonic device, let's distribute its 8 electrons. We'll start with the lowest, or this, that is 1s2. Okay? Followed by 2s2. So we look at the number of electrons, yung nasa taas, dapat 8 ang maging total niya. Next, followed by 2p, 1s2, 2s2, and 2p. Imbis na 2p6 yung ilalagay na lang ay 4 to make it 8 electrons. So we have 1s2, 2s2, and then 2p4. This is now the complete electron configuration of the element oxygen. Okay? Ang electron configuration class is just like a fingerprint. So hindi pare-pareho yan. Ganun din yung ECE. Bawat element ay may kanya-kanyang ECE. Next. Let's have chlorine. Chlorine has 17 electrons. So medyo mas marami kumpara kay oxygen. So pwede nyo rin tingnan yung module natin, mas maraming examples doon. So on chlorine, let's distribute its 17 electrons. So we have 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. That is already a total of 10 electrons. So kulang pa. Then followed by 3s2, and then 3p. Instead of 6, we will only have 5. That is 2 plus 2 plus 6 is 10, plus 2 is 12, plus 5 is 17. So this is now the complete electron configuration of the element chlorine. 1s2, 2, 3p5. Okay? Next, let's have silver. Silver has 47 electrons. Medyo mas marami kumpara kay chlorine. So let's see. We have 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. So take note ha, dapat nakasulat as superscript yung mga electrons. And we have 3p6, we have 4s2, then we have 3d10, then we have 4p6, 5s2, and then we have 4d, total muna natin, we have 10, 20, 30, 38. So to make it 47, ilan na ilalagay dito? We have 9. So we have 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d10, 4p6, 5s2, and 4d9 for the element silver. Now, I want you to try this. We have vanadium, 23. And let's have iodine, 53. So, I'll give you time to identify the ECE in 2 minutes. Okay, timer starts now. let's check your work. So for vanadium, we have only 23 electrons. So medyo mas maiksi yan. So let's answer. For vanadium, we have 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, and then 3d3 only. So sino nakatama? Pakicheck. Again, so we have 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, and then 3d3. Next, for iodine, we have 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d10, 4p6, 5s2, 4d10, 5p, check muna natin kung ilan. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 48. So to make it 53, 5 na lang. So we have 5p, 5. Hanggang 5p5 lang yung kaya niyang fill upan. So we have 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d10, 4p6, 5s2, 4d10, and then 5p5. So easy is just like simple addition. So as long as naisusulat natin ng tama yung pagkakasunod-sunod sa mnemonic device, dapat sigurado kayo dyan para maging tama din yung ating maging sagot for the total number of electrons in distributing it in the different energy levels, sublevels, and then orbitals. So that's it. Yung output natin o yung ating activity ay isesend ko na lang on the Google Classroom. So thank you. If you have any question, just send it on our GC or just PM me for clarity para mas malinaw. So that's it. Thank you for your time. I hope na intindihin natin mabuti o tapusin natin itong video lesson na to. So ginawa ko to dahil maraming mga estudyante ang hindi nakaka-attend sa ating online class. At least ito, nakasave. So pwede nyong panoorin ng paulit-ulit. So again, thank you for your time. So I am Sir Berwin, your chemistry teacher. Thank you.